So, new conference, new venue, new challenges.
We're at OH2022 in sunny Belfast with about 200 occupational hygienists and like-minded people, all socially interacting and intellectually learning from each other.
I'm particularly delighted that we're here in Northern Ireland for the first time in almost 70 years of BOHS's history. It fits in some ways with my presidential theme of trying to reach out further to contact people that so far have had very little interaction with the occupational hygiene profession.
BOHS is almost a family of group of people that are extremely friendly and welcoming, and they try to nurture new talent.
But there's still a lot more that we can do. There are groups of workers that we aren't reaching, there are geographical areas that we aren't covering particularly well. So to come to Belfast, I think, goes in some part to addressing that.
The last 6 months have seen BOHS continue to build on our profile as an influencer of policy and practice at higher level. I hope that the agenda for the conference is going to challenge us and broaden our horizons, but also remind of us our common purpose as a society to promote worker health protection across the board.
The conference committee reflects on the feedback that we get and have designed sessions based on these reflections and of past conferences.
The variety of topics is quite large, so I think there's a very broad swath of occupational hygiene practice that's represented in the presentations.
I'm taking the opportunity to have a plenary session to express my opinions about the impact of COVID on work and also on how we can use the lens of power to try to understand what has happened and how to make change going forward.
This conference is a good place for that presentation because the emphasis on psychosocial stressors and the role of social norms, policies, and regulations in defining work conditions has really become highlighted through the COVID pandemic. And our field is just beginning to start to tackle the problems of stress, psychological stress and challenges that arise through work.
Mental health, particularly measures of anxiety and depression, are affected by the ability of employees to have access to protective equipment and hygiene and other types of infection prevention strategies in their workplace.
We're always overwhelmed with speakers. Unfortunately, every year we will have more applications to speak than we are able to accommodate, so we're always grateful to speakers.
These keynote lectures epitomise our ambitions in terms of working with academia, working internationally, working with other health and safety organisations and with HSE, the regulator, to achieve more and better for the health of UK workers.
So I've focused today on the PROTECT study, and this is a huge national study funded by government which is exploring the transmission of COVID, the role that the environment, the disease and human behaviour play in how transmission happens, and then thinking about how we mitigate transmission.
It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour to get you thinking about the challenges with understanding transmission, what we've learned, and quite a lot of what we've still got to learn too.
I think there's a really interesting vibe here in that, you know, people are coming at occupational health from a range of different perspectives, some from a very technical perspective, others from a more behavioural perspective. It's a really nice vibe. I'm really enjoying actually talking to people and finding out what they do and thinking about how that connects in with some of the work that we do.
We're a relatively small profession within the UK. Most occupational hygienists know most occupational hygienists, and I think they all look forward to the opportunity of getting together once a year in a major city, whether it be Belfast or Nottingham or Leeds, wherever it is, and having those 3 days together to catch up, and not just to talk work but to just socialise.
Well, I enjoyed the dinner last night. That was nice to see the award recipients, and I like this conference. It's a good size to allow you to meet and mingle with people, and everybody is very relaxed and interested in building connections and learning new things.
Clearly, without the sponsors, the conference wouldn't be anything close to what it is. They put in financial support, they allow us to come to fantastic venues such as we're at now, and they allow us to run the conference at a significantly reduced rate for delegates.
Next year's conference is already set, with the dates set, the hotel is booked, and as soon as this conference finishes, the team will get together and the next conference will start being planned.